Yes, what is going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at a little indie game that has been one of my favorite projects as of late. It is called No Plan B, and I have featured it on the channel several times before. And this is a really interesting little top-down tactical planning game where you get a series of operators that are all participating in this persistent campaign with consumable goods. So every time you throw a flashbang, you have to spend credits to buy another flashbang. As an example, they have customizable kit, they have customizable gear selection, so you can equip plate carriers, mag carriers, weapons, the whole lot, and make them look exactly as you desire. You can put patches on them, you can put rank on them, get a lot of ownership over the experience of each one of these guys, and then you persist through this campaign that is kind of like a choose your own adventure sort of ladder style campaign. And today we're taking a look at a level called Decaying Ocelot, and you know, as the game name would indicate, no plan B, there isn't really a way out. So after I plan out this entire tactical assault to clear this entire structure and I click play, I can't go back. I'm committed to the outcome of this level. And so depending on where you are in the campaign sequence, if you are at a fork in the road and that fork requires you to take the intersection of that fork and you fail to accomplish that mission, your campaign can very well be ended right there. If one of your operators is wounded or killed, that persists through the entire chapter of the campaign. Here we are looking at kind of, we're in the second mission of our second stage of the campaign. You can see here I've got these Z's over several of my operators. That means that they just participated in an operation, so they're tired, they're fatigued. There's some debugs associated with them being fatigued, so they're not going to perform at their best. And so this game kind of presents you with all these different challenges. You have to manage resources, you have to manage your strategy and your tactics level to level to make sure you're not taking unnecessary casualties, making sure that you are choosing the right path in the campaign itself so that you can, you know, reliably produce successful outcomes, get as much currency as you progress as possible, and then use that currency to replenish your stocks, rest your squad, buy perks. So if you look over here on this level, I've got 6,200 credits. I could choose that to rest my squad, get rid of these debuffs. I could restock my arsenal, scan the map, you know, do a night raid, tear gas, whatever the case may be. But that brings us to today's challenge. So I have to stop an ongoing siege that is occurring in this structure. And if you look at it, it's kind of like a planning space. So these are mock-up walls and all that sort of thing. Whenever we actually go to execute, we're going to see the actual structure. So this really is like a rehearsal space where this tactical team is getting some reps in on a mock-up structure that is like the one that they'll have to go hit during the live mission. And we'll do all of our planning here and then actually go execute under live conditions. And when I take a look at this thing, I start breaking down, you know, the tactical challenges associated with it. If I look around the outside, I could put, you know, a sniper overwatch team on either one of these Humvees. Over here, I'd be able to see through these two windows. Here, I'd be able to see through this window, which is kind of handy. And then if I take a look kind of top down, this is kind of a disaster over here. Lots of dead space, lots of, you know, red zones for enemy threats to be hidden in. I've got an open door right here indicated by, you know, this green line on top. That's either going to be an open door or a transparent door. I believe that means that that threshold is going to be open. Here, I've got a closed door. You know, difficult to tell whether or not it would be locked, but we're gonna have to do some sort of breach there. I've got a couple different entry points and spawn options. I could spawn here, hit center structure. I could spawn here, come through the long side, and I could spawn here or here and clear through the outside. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead, fast forward the video, set my operators in position, describe to you guys my general plan for execution, do a full talk through of that plan, and use, you know, do some explanation of the tactics that I'm using, and I'm gonna try to make sure that they mimic, you know, the way that I would approach this scenario under real world conditions. After that, we'll hit play, watch the entire thing unfold in real time so that we can enjoy the outcome together, and then you guys will get that sweet cinematic replay down below. Here we go. All right, so I've put my operators in position. Basically, I've gone with a 3-man assault element over here. Two of these guys have rifles. One has a little like MP7 subgun looking thing. I've also got 2 flashbangs over here so that, you know, these are my primary assaulters, going to want to have the ability to prep these rooms as required with diversionary devices. And then over here, I put 1 assaulter who happens to be me. He's not going to plan to make entry, but he is going to pie off these rooms externally so we can take a peek inside from outside. And, you know, that's something I've talked about on the channel, quite a bit. There's this preponderance or this tendency, largely influenced by the global war on terror, for us to do this very dynamic style of clearance where we throw a door open, get a bang in, and then just go charging through the threshold. And while those tactics might make sense in, an emergent, an emergency style situation like a hostage rescue or a time-sensitive fleeting target with significant collateral concerns, we don't necessarily want to default to those style of tactics. There's a shit ton of risk associated with piling a bunch of dudes up in a breach anywhere. We all know that these breaches are what we call fatal funnels. Fatal funnels, just a silly tactical term for an area that is inherently a choke point or a threat space, whereby all these small arms fire that is on the opposite side of that threshold is going to be funneled in through that choke point. So as soon as a compromise occurs, as soon as the bad guys in these structures think that we might be outside, it's very likely, very possible that they're going to be firing through the doors, firing through the fatal funnel. And when those things are happening, you don't necessarily want to go piling through that doorway, because as fast as you move, you are not going to move faster than a bullet. So the general idea here, I did put a sniper out here. This is my buddy Fodder. He's got a bolt gun with good eyes into this portion of the structure. What I like about this position, he has reasonably good vision. More importantly, he is cutting off this portion of the building right here from this portion of the building. So my assault force is, essentially going to have to handle this threat on their own, while my sniper provides overwatch right here, and we get some external clearance from over here. So we're dividing up the compound and dealing with a threat kind of just one step at a time. So the general idea here is pie off this window, isolate this portion of the compound with direct fires from my sniper and overwatch team over here, and then do a deliberate clearance, prepping these rooms with bangs as I deem necessary to get my assault element through here. Once I'm done pieing off these windows, I very well may collapse this assaulter to give me a 4-man on the opposite side. I'm leaving 3 dudes in reserve to rest so that we get them back in the next round. I'm going to go ahead and get to planning now. I'll talk you guys through the plan once it's complete, but that's generally what I'm looking for. Here comes the planning. All right, gents, so here is the plan. Again, we have our sniper outside watching this way. We've got one dude external over here. He's going to be working some external pies, and our primary assault force is over here. When the clock starts, we do go dynamic initially. I'm doing that just based off my assessment that we still have the element of surprise, which is damn near about the only time a dynamic entry will work against an opposing force. So right off the bat, door comes open, bang goes in. As a reminder, our 2-man is throwing the bang. We don't do it with our lead elements because we want them to have their guns up and pulling security, not throwing a flashbang. Bang goes off, and then I'm leading with the right side of my stack first. First man comes in. He's got a little bit of a center check right in the center of the room. Then he's going to clear this point of domination. As soon as that point of domination is clear and secure, he's going to collapse back towards the center. Our next threat area is this door right here. 2-man comes in right behind him. As you can see, that point of domination was clear. We're back on that initial threat. 2-man comes in. He's doing a little center check as well, and then he's collapsing to his point of domination. And we're basically executing a strong wall here. So rather than a traditional battle drill 6 where 1 takes 2 and 2 takes 1, everyone's going to be aligned on this one wall. That's mostly just because of the size of this room. Once that corner is clear, he's also collapsing back towards the center. 3-man's coming in. He's doubling up on security on this door because we know that is the next threat space. Next, we are going to run, and I should mention that there is some dynamic pieing going on over here. We've worked this first window. We're going to take a pause right here for 2 or 3 seconds, let it breathe, then pie off this second window right over here. At this point, we're running to restack, finishing a pie over on the opposite side. We're holding here for just a second, and we are going to toss this door We're moving quick here, but we are doing a more deliberate center check. Unfortunately, there's really no way to go, kind of slow and deliberate in our 1 minute time constraint on this level in this second room. And I didn't want to burn a bang quite yet, but what we will do is step to the center. We're clearing most of this room before we even cross the threshold. One man comes in. He's collapsing straight into that corner. This is kind of an odd clearance. We're basically running the rabbit. So I've cleared this corner from external on this side of the doorway. There's still a little bit of red space right here, but I'm assessing that a man-sized target will be unable to fit in that space. So when we come in here, my long gun's going to lead. He's basically going to run the rabbit, meaning he's going to go long. He's going to pull fire his direction. I have a 2-man coming with an MP7 from the opposite side. He's quick to pivot, quick to shoot. Then he's also going to work this threat space over here. He's going to pie that off. He's waiting for his 2. As soon as the his 2 is there, they will push long, and they're basically going to, do a near far or run the rabbit or a high-low. You can't really do a high-low in this game because you can't crouch and actually get over the top of somebody. But that's basically what we're doing. So we're going to run the rabbit here, do kind of like a high-low, and then once we've done that, our next challenge is this deep threat space here. This is an open threshold, so I'm able to see all the way deep. Now that I can see all the way deep, I don't want to give that angle up because it's an exposed area, and we've earned that security. We're not going to give it up. So we're going to move from this formation into a rolling T with 2 men up front, 1 man in trail. We have our 2 assault rifles up front. Our next threat area is this corner. So they're shoulder to shoulder clearing. As soon as we hit the next threat area, we've got a wingman coming off that rolling T and pulling hard left to cover our flank. Tooth is going to pull long, still not giving up this space that he cleared earlier. We've got this entire second room clear and secure. After Captain here is done clearing this corner, our 3-man becomes the 2-man with his MP7. He's going to go long. We're moving into cross coverage on this open threshold. Super dangerous area here, so we are giving it a second to breathe. We made a lot of noise. If the enemy's going to come to us, we'll let them come to us at this point and kill them. Let it breathe, let it breathe. Our pie is still ongoing over here. We're actually going to hold this space in this kind of center, this center little cubby. And then, of course, we've still got our sniper external. So he's already cleared a lot of this space for us. So this is a dangerous moment, but we've got good security. Of course, that's under the assumption that we have not lost anyone during the conduct of our clearance. So we let it breathe. Again, we step center, and I'm basically assessing that long over here is a bigger threat than over here because I've got a sniper pulling close security for me. There's still some dead space right here, right here, right here. But I'm assessing this is the bigger threat because there's a little bit of dead space that dudes could be hiding in back here that we maybe didn't get to see from external. So I'm putting my long gun in this corner. He is going to pull long and hold long. 2-man's coming in to cover his right flank with an MP7 rapidly. Our man that's pulling long is going to make sure it's clear and secure, and then he's going to move up to this corner, hold security deep. These guys are going to do kind of a series of pies in buddy teams with the MP7 pulling close because he can pivot and shoot faster in close range, and then our long gun pulling long security for him. So that's exactly what you see here with Captain pulling long on this corner, and then Noob working the near threat, and then our additional security in the rear pushing up to that corner as briefed. We've still got long security. We collapse and they take it together near far. Once that's clear and secure, they're going to run back over here, restack with the primary assault element. And then we're going to start working these last couple of areas. Most of this has been cleared from external, but there still is, obviously the potential for people to be hiding some of this dead space that was not cleared from external if they've gone quiet and static. So we're pieing long with the AR because he's got a little bit better range. I've repositioned my pie here to assist in this corner security. So basically the security breakdown here is dude external is going to be holding long security. Rifle is going to hold this security first and this security second. These 2 dudes are going to work the near rooms. This is what that looks like. You can see the shift from that corner. He comes off that corner. He's working the second corner. These guys go near far on the first cubby. First cubby is clear and secure. Deliberate pause, reposition. Second cubby is clear and secure. And now we have a security handover. I'm collapsing this dude off of security because we don't want to point guns at our homies' backs. This dude is going to take long security, and then they are going to bump and clear the whole thing together. Let's see how it goes. Not a perfect plan, a good one. Didn't use as many bangs as we would real world. Certainly didn't use as many dudes as we would real world. And, some of that's just game-isms. We finished in 55 seconds. So plenty of time to meet our 1 minute time hack. Once you hit execute, boys, there is no going back. So if we bomb this mission, there is no reattempting it, and our campaign is in jeopardy as a result. So let's go ahead and see how it goes.
Throwing grenade. Go, go, go.
Remember, if you do like this game, if this looks interesting to you, you can get it at a bargain on Steam or from my game store at nexus.gg/controlledpairsgaming. If you purchase it from my game store, it supports the channel. I am so grateful for you guys who choose to do that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.